Good morning. Welcome to your Friday and your math lesson for today. Now, the substitute should have already given you directions on who's passing out the books. But if you have not done that yet, then if you're sitting in seat number 4, go get the books for your group. You've got 30 seconds. Go quickly, pass them out. As soon as you get your book, open it up to page 63. We're actually doing the lessons in reverse. Yesterday we did lesson 12 using order of operations. Today we're going back and doing lesson 11. So you should have your book be on page 63 and going through our what are we doing, why are we doing it, and how are you going to know that you've learned it? Well, we're continuing to evaluate numerical expressions, including those with whole number exponents. Why are we learning this? Well, order of operations will allow you or allow us to evaluate expressions correctly following the rules of math. How will we know we have learned it? Well, we'll be able to evaluate expressions, and we're going to evaluate them using this order. We're going to look first to see if there are any groupings. And we're going to then look to see if there are any exponents. Then we're going to look to see if there's multiplication or division, but go left to right. And then we're going to look for either subtraction or addition, again, left to right. And just like we talked about yesterday, these steps, we can remember the order by thinking about gems. And again, groupings, parentheses, brackets, or the set symbol. Oops. Have a hard time drawing that. Exponents. Look to see if there's any exponents, anything raised to a power. Multiplication or division, left to right. Subtraction or addition, left to right. Notice that subtraction or addition are the last thing that you're going to do. First would be look for clearing any groupings, then look for exponents, then look to see what you can multiply or divide, and then look to see what you can subtract or add. Now, vocabulary, again, here are your grouping symbols. Exponents, we've done a lot of work with exponents. Multiply or divide, left to right. Subtract or add, left to right. An exponent, again, we've done a lot of work with that. A number that indicates how many times the base is multiplied by itself. In this case, it would be 3 times. 4 times 4 times 4. And then expressions, numbers, symbols, and operations grouped together with no equal sign to represent a value. Number symbols, also in here, we're going to put variables that you would have. So now, let's go down to the problem of the day. You're going to simplify the following expressions. Remember to combine like terms. The substitute is going to time you for 3 minutes to both simplify these 2 expressions and write your objective for today. So go ahead and set the timer, or just time from the clock, and begin now. Okay, so now I have 15W, and I'm going to look to see if I have any other term that has the variable W in it. And I notice that there are 2. This has a coefficient of 15. This has a coefficient of 20. I can add my coefficients together, and I have 35W. And if you want, you can cross them out so that you know you've already included them. And now I look at what I have left in my expression, and I have 30 plus 10A plus 10. Well, this has a variable. I don't see anything else with an A, so I know that I just can't combine that yet. So now I'm going to look at 30 and 10, and I know I can add my constants together, and 30 and 10 is 40. So those are taken care of. And I have one term left, and that's 10a. And I can't really combine 10a with anything else, so I just write it down. And that's as simplified as I can get. So now let's take a look at this next one. And again, I'm going to start with the left-hand side, and I have a variable b. I also know that there's a 1 coefficient in front that is not written. It's understood that if it's just a variable, that there's a coefficient of 1 that goes along with it. And I'm going to look for any other b's, variable b's that I can combine. And I notice I have 2 other terms. I have a coefficient of 5 and a coefficient of 4. So I can add my coefficients together. 4 plus 5 plus 1 is going to be 10b. And now I'm going to look at what's left. I have 9g plus 19 plus 10. Well, I don't have anything else with g's, so I'm going to bring down 9g. And I have a constant 19 and a constant 10. And when I add them together, I have 29. So again, I've combined this expression as much as I can, and I have my simplified expression. You should have already copied down today's objective with the time, the time that you had. So moving on, and we're going on to teacher input. So at this point, your pencils are down, you're looking up at the screen, you're focusing on what I'm doing here, and I'm going to record gems so I can refer to my steps to help remind me. I'm going to put a D here so I know it's multiplication or division, and subtraction or addition. And that's left to right. So I'm going to take a look at my first expression. And I notice that I do have a grouping symbol. I have parentheses and 6 times 3. So I'm going to clear the parentheses, or I'm actually not clear it yet. I'm still going to keep it there. I'm going to multiply, but you'll see why I still keep it. And I'm going to bring down 6 divided by 3 plus 2. Remember, the parentheses also indicate multiplication if there's just one number inside. 6 times 3 is 18. So now I look and see I don't have any exponents, and I have division and operation before I can add. But I know that I'm going to look at either multiplication or division left to right, whichever comes first. In this case, division comes first. So I'm not going to jump over to the multiplication. I'm going to divide, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. Bring down my addition, and now I can multiply 2 times 18. Well, 2 times 18 is 36. So I've done my multiplication and division, and subtraction or addition. Well, there's no subtraction, and the only step I have left is to add. 2 plus 36 is 38. Okay. So now let's take a look at the second one. And again, gems. And I notice I have 2 exponents in this one. So let's see how this is going to be evaluated. And remember, left to right and left to right. So I have parentheses, I have an exponent, I have parentheses, and I have an exponent. So I'm going to take care of my groupings first. And I'm going to, actually, before I can take care of the groupings, I need to find out what 9 to the second power is. So that's 9 times 9. That's 81 divided by 3. I had to clear that before I could clear the parentheses. Plus, and 8 subtract 5 is going to give me 3, but that's 3 to the third power. So I still need to clear this for exponents before I can go on to division. So I'm going to bring down 81, divide 3, plus 3 to the third power. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. Okay? Let me put these back here. And 81 divided by 3 is 27. Once I divide this, that clears my parentheses. Plus 27. And now I can add. 27 plus 27 is 54. Nice. Now, structured guided practice. Remember, with structured guided practice, we're thinking about what you're going to do here, but you are not writing anything down until I write it down first. And then you're working along with me. But you are not rushing ahead thinking you can get this done and then end up making mistakes. Okay, so this is what we're going to refer to. And I'm going to look for groupings, and sure enough, I've got parentheses. I have parentheses and a 2 on the outside. I don't have any exponents, so I'm going to start by clearing my parentheses. 9 plus 7 is 16. I'm going to bring down my division to 4 subtract 2 is 2. Now, notice there's just one number in the parentheses. There's nothing left to clear with the parentheses. So now these parentheses are indicating that this means multiply 2 times 2. So I'm going to take a look at what do I need to do first from left to right. And I've got multiplication and division. So I'm going to have you check in with your partner real quick. And today, if you are an odd number, you are an A. If you are an even number, you are a B. So A's tell B's which operation you have to do first and why. 30 seconds and go. And time. Okay, A's told B's. B's, report out. What did A's tell you? Ready? Go. And if you said do division before you do multiplication, because it goes from left to right, you're absolutely correct. 16 divided by 2 is 8. And now I have 8 times 2. So the only thing I have left to do is multiply. 8 times 2 is 16. Nice. Okay, let's take a look at this next one. Again, I'm going to put my steps, GEMS. And remember, that's multiplication or division, subtraction or addition. So I'm going to take a look at, I have 9 divided by 3 in parentheses, and then I'm going to raise that answer to the second power. And then I have times 3 to the second power. So I do have groupings right here. 9 divided by 3 is 3. I can clear the parentheses here, but I'm going to bring down my exponent. 3 to the second power times 3 to the second power. Well, I took care of my groupings. Now I'm going to do my exponents. And B's, get ready to tell A's what 3 to the second power is. 20 seconds. Ready? B's, tell A's. 3 to the second power is what? Go. And time. Okay, A's, what did B's tell you? Ready? Go. And I heard a lot of 9s. 3 times 3, 3 times 3. So I have cleared my exponents, and 9 times 9 is 81. Perfect. Okay, final check for understanding. We're going to work through the final check for understanding together, and then we'll, I think, probably just continue with the student practice as well. Now, again, I'm writing GEMS. I always want to be able to list this so I can go back and refer to it in case I forget what my steps are. So I'm going to look at my expression. I have 4 to the second power plus, in parentheses, 2 times 17 subtract 15. So I'm going to take a look at what do I need to do first. Well, I have groupings here, and then I also have an exponent. So I'm going to bring down 4 to the second power plus 2. Remember, once I subtract this, the parentheses are indicating multiplication. 2 times whatever is here. 17 subtract 15 is 2. So now I'm going to look at my exponent. 4 to the second power means 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16 plus 2 times 2. So now, am I going to add 16 plus 2, or am I going to multiply 2 times 2? A's, tell B's 15 seconds when I say go. what you think you need to do next and why. Are you going to multiply or are you going to add? 15 seconds, go. And time. And now, let me see, I think I had B's tell A's. So, A's, what did B's tell you? Ready? Go. And multiplication is the next one that you're going to do because multiplication comes before either multiplication and division come before subtraction and addition. So I'm going to bring down the 16. 2 times 2 is 4. So I have 16 plus 4. Now I only have one operation left. 16 plus 4 is 20. Great. Last final check for understanding. And remember, we're going to look for groupings first, and then we're going to look for exponents, and then multiplication or division, left to right, subtraction or addition, left to right. And I have parentheses. I also have a 2 to the third power in the parentheses. Then I have subtraction and I have multiplication. This is not in parentheses, so we'll see how this works out. So first I'm going to have to find the value of 2 to the third power before I can combine what's in the parentheses. So 2 to the third power means 2 times 2 times 2. So that is going to be 8 plus 4. Then I have subtraction, and I have 4 times 3. So 8 plus 4 is 12. 4 times 3. So now, am I going to have 12 subtract 4 times 3? Or am I going to need to multiply first and then subtract? B's tell A's. Do you subtract or do you multiply next? 15 seconds. Ready? Go. And time. Okay, A's. Report out. What did B's tell you? Go. Heard a lot of multiply first because that comes before subtraction or addition. So I'm going to bring down 12, subtract. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 subtract 12 is 0. And yes, you can get 0 as an answer. So if you're thinking, no, can't be correct, yes, it is. Okay, now we're going to go to student practice. Again, I'm going to write down my steps. Multiplication or division. Subtraction or addition. And again, this is left to right. Left to right. And evaluate the expression. Well, I have a set of parentheses. I have a division. I have another set of parentheses, and I'm squaring what's in those parentheses. So I'm going to clear my parentheses first. 17 plus 8, that's 25. I'm going to bring down my division sign. And 3 plus 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. and that's 5 to the second power. So before I can divide, I need to find the value of 5 to the second power. So I'm going to bring down 25. I'm going to bring down my division sign. And 5 to the second power is 5 times 5. And I have 25. This is telling me to divide. 25 divided by 25, 1. Nice. Now, I'm going to have you try 2 and 3 on your own. And then I'm going to check back in with you to see how you do. Okay, so let's give you 4 minutes. That'll be 2 minutes apiece. So pause the video here, time it for 4 minutes, and then check back in. Okay, begin. Okay, so let's check and see how you did. Again, I'm going to write down gems to remind me of my steps that I need to follow. And I take a look. I don't have any parentheses, so I don't have to worry about clearing that. But I do have an exponent. And then I have multiplication and addition. So I know that I need to clear this exponent first. So I'm going to bring down 4 times 3 to the third power. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. And I'm going to bring down plus 9. So I have cleared my exponent. I'm going to look next, either multiplication or division, left to right. Well, I have multiplication and addition. So I know I need to multiply. 27 times 4, or 4 times 27. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 more is 10, plus 9. Okay, so I multiplied. Here is my product. I bring down the 9. 108 plus 9 is 117. And I have my answer. Hopefully you get the same one. Now let's take a look at this next one. Again, I have a set of parentheses. I also have an exponent in here. And I have subtraction. And I have 2 times 17 subtract 2. So I know I'm going to start with my groupings, but before I can clear this, I need to know 2 to the 5th power. Well, 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 times 2, 32, plus 7. I'm going to keep the parentheses around this until it's completely cleared. Subtract 2 times 17, subtract 2. Well, 32 plus 7 is going to be 39. Subtract 17 subtract 2 is 15. Remember, this is now multiplication. So I have 39 subtract 2 times 15. Well, multiplication and division are higher order operations than subtraction or addition. So I need to do my multiplication next. 2 times 15 is 30. 39 subtract 30. And your answer is 9. Let's see if we can fit 2 more in here before the end of the period. Should be getting pretty close by now. Okay, so I have groupings and I have an exponent. And I know I need to do groupings first. 2 plus 7 is 9 times 5 to the second power. Well, 5 to the second power is 25. But can I multiply 9 times 5 and then raise that to the second power? What do you think? A's tell B's. Can I multiply 9 times 5 first and then raise that to a second power? Or do I need to find 5 times 5 and then times that by 9? Okay? 15 seconds. Ready? Go. Okay, and B's. What did A's tell you? And squaring 5 is correct. 9 times 5 to the second power is 25. Okay, now 9 times 5 is 45. 9 times 2 is 18, plus 4 more that I carried. And that's 22. So your answer is 225. Nice. Okay, I think we can fit this last one in. So again, we're going to follow GEMS. I have parentheses and I have parentheses. So I'm going to clear my parentheses first. I'm going to bring down the 3. 8 subtract 5 is 3. Plus 9 times 6 is 54. And now this is 3 times 3. I know I need to multiply before I can add. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 54. And 9 plus 54 is 63. Nice. Okay, remember there's no homework for the weekend. Have a great weekend. And your problem of the week, I have extended till Monday. So we'll take a look at the last one, the task 3, on Monday and finish it up so that you can then turn it in. Okay? So have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday.